Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
We should. This should be our like
final episode. I agree.
Yeah. I was going to say things are gonna get better. They're gonna get worse than before they get better. But I guess this is the end. I say that and then we finish. We never talk. And they never get better. We never give them. Yeah. We just never let them get better.
Things will get worse before they get better. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes. And then you interrupted me because you were like, "I don't want to record with you with this with you, Max, anymore." That's what you basically said by saying that. So
It was just a non sequitur.
Oh,
you gotta roll into it. You gotta keep going. Maybe give like a no. I was gonna say, and then keep going.
What does non sequitur mean?
Non sequitur is like
I know what it means like in general, but like what is the origin of the word non sequitur?
The etymology. Well,
sequitur meaning.
Okay, well, you see the confusion when you say what does this mean, and then I go to explain what it means, and then you go, I know what it means.
Non sequitur does not follow. That's what it means in Latin.
Yeah,
right.
The Latin.
They knew what they were doing there.
They had comedy back in Latin time.
No, they only had those masks. I think that was basically the peak of comedy.
They just wear them, and people would be like, "Oh,
yeah, that's that one is laughing."
So they'd wear the sad one, and then they'd go,
like,
"Oh,
it's a tragedy now."
And then they swap it out again, and they're like, "Oh, the juxtaposition, the contrast is so strong."
We should go back to that, having like a guy in the theater that like he stands. He goes, "This is a joke," or like Tony, like when or like this. You shouldn't be like this. Like you watch Drive, and it's like this isn't cool. Like when he's bashing the guy's head in the elevator. You like
he's wearing the sad mask.
Yeah, he's wearing the sad mask.
So that you're aware that it's tragedy.
Yeah.
And then when he's sort of like on a date with the girl, and he's kind of awkward.
Yeah,
he's got the comedy mask on, so you know that the scene is more jovial.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I like the idea. And then we can basically we won't have celebrities anymore because their faces will always be covered by the masks.
Exactly. That's true.
The celebrities will become the tragedy and comedy mask.
Oh well, they're all going to be living on the streets because they can't monetize their fame anymore. And I think we should do that. We should
monetize or weaponize. Am I right?
That's true, especially nowadays when they go they go on them social medias and they say like.
They go to the Democratic conventions
and they go kill this guy, and everybody goes, "Yes, I'll kill him."
Yes, sir, Mr. George Clooney.
George Clooney, please tell me who to kill next.
And then they all say that George Clooney said that Biden's too old, and now all of a sudden, now everybody thinks actually he's too old. That's a little bit of a coincidence for me.
Yeah,
too much of a coincidence.
A tyrant, you can call him. George Clooney, a tyrant.
George Clooney as a name does feel like it would be some kind of malevolent ancient dictator, like an Attila the Hun, Alexander the Great, George Clooney. George Clooney of Russia.
George Clooney of
he united all of the different provinces.
Bethesda, whatever that place is called.
The game studio?
No, I was thinking about the place, but I guess it is named after a place.
Bethesda, Washington or whatever.
Washington, I think it is. Yeah, you're right. I think
Pennsylvania.
The only thing I know about Pennsylvania is Bloodhound Gang, because they used to sing songs about Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd one go?
They did the roof is on fire. The roof is on fire. Awesome. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn.
I would rather you didn't say fucker. I would have preferred if you had done like a radio safe version, maybe mother effer or something.
I'm just gonna include that.
That mother burn. You know.
I'm gonna include a random police siren here, just in the edit, just to mess with people that are listening to this in the car. You know.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with them.
That's
I
kind
love
of a
it.
fun idea. I think you should do that throughout the episode.
And just like stop
Put
the
in,
car,
like,
just like stop the
every
car.
now and then, just put in like a random car honk, so people are like,
The
"Who's
fuck?
honking at me?
Yeah.
Who was that?"
Yeah, like something hitting, like someone breaking, like suddenly,
Yeah.
you know, that sort of thing. It's like, oh shit,
Golf ball bouncing off a windshield.
yeah,
And
exactly,
then, like a cracking noise.
Just to fuck with them, you know. Fuck,
Yeah,
why
just
not?
because
you
we
know?
hate everybody and who's listening.
Look at the
want
news,
you to have
and
a
it's
bad
like
time.
someone dies because they get into an accident because they, you know, swerved off the road or whatever.
Would they be able to trace that back to us?
If they have Dead Ensigns just playing on their like Spotify car thing, remember that? They
Well,
have it in their
hopefully,
car.
here's what you need to do. You need to put it in at the last like 5 minutes
Oh,
or so. Then
yeah.
it will autoplay into
Autoplay the
some
next
other, into
thing.
like This American Life or something, and then they'll
yeah.
go, he crashed because of This American Life.
That's true. We can blame someone else. That's cool. That is a good way to do this.
He crashed because he was just laughing at the Mark Maron podcast so much. he crashed. He heard comedy bang bang and he was like, "Oh shit, somebody's shooting at me," and then he crashed.
And he's
And
in
we'll be off
America, so
scot-free.
you would think that
And
anywhere
we'll be
else.
off scot free.
Yeah,
You know, we got
It's a
away with it.
It's a perfect murder, you know, when
It
you
is
bring
perfect murder.
bring a icicle to every murder I do, and then
Yeah.
everybody, you know, goes like, "There's no murder weapon."
There's no murder weapon. You beat somebody with a big like leg of lamb, and then
Yeah.
you cook the lamb and you feed it to the police officers
Yeah,
when they come around,
yeah.
and then they're like, "Well, we don't know how we got bludgeoned to death.
Yeah, I have no idea.
This lamb's delicious."
Yeah. Then you get like a Poirot style detective, and he goes to the toilets. He collects all the poo to
Yeah, he
assemble the
examines
weapon.
the poop footprints.
The print.
This poop has the murder weapon prints all over it. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
What did you eat in the last 24 hours? A big leg of lamb frozen, covered in blood and hair.
Which makes sense because there is a leg of ham, right? Just the human teeth embedded into the leg. It's just like, yeah, that makes sense.
It was leg of lamb, and it seemed to be marinated in some kind of strange meat I'd never seen before, almost like a brain. Like,
Yeah, it was delicious.
how would I know?
Yeah.
The
exactly.
icicle is also a good one though.
Yeah, icicles
That's
are
a good
good.
one.
Yeah,
And then you just melt it, and it's like
yeah.
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. They
Nobody
can't prove
could
anything.
ever possibly know.
An ice bullet, you can also do that, and then it like melts
Yeah,
inside.
ice
That's
bullet.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. Ice. Ice poison.
Ice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You
make
poison
the
the
poison,
eye.
freeze the poison, and then they eat it, and then the poison melts away, and there's no more poison.
And I guess I don't know. You did that to fuck with them because all the poison is gone, right? And
Yeah.
So they don't die.
What
was just a
about
prank.
no? Okay, so not ice bullet. That's silly. Because you can't fire a bullet made of
Yeah,
ice
that
if
makes
it's
sense.
poured.
You're all right.
But
That doesn't make
ice
sense.
gun.
Oh, just the entire thing.
They get shot with a bullet, but then they're like, "We need to find the gun that shot
Yeah.
this." Very
We have to do the thing where they like shoot another bullet for their gun and then compare the rigid like the things, the barrel things that they leave behind, and they can't because the gun is gone.
because the gun melted.
Yeah,
I turned the gun into a delicious drink.
that sounds like something Magneto would be also very against,
Yes.
very much against.
I think
'cause
Magneto would just be able to push the bullet. He would just be able to fire the bullet as it
yeah.
was. Oh, is a bullet's not magnetic, I guess, is it?
Yeah, I guess it's not a metal that's magnetized. Yeah.
But I think Magneto can do any metal.
Why
not
don't they
just
just-
magnetic metal,
Yeah,
right?
I don't remember. I don't honestly.
not
Maybe
sure.
he could technically generate like current within a metal, so it could magnetize the metal like an electromagnet sort of thing. That's how
Who
we
was
kind
that? that cool bit in the prequel movie where he pushed the like Nazi coin through the guy's head.
Oh,
That bit was cool.
Yeah.
He like pushed it like slowly through his head and killed him because it went through his brain.
You wish you were a Magneto, right? So you could kill people just like that.
No, I wish I was Gambit.
A Gambit, because he's the coolest, right? Can you? What sort of voice would you have if you were Gambit?
I'd probably be like, "Whoa, I'm about to make a name for myself, y'all." You know, that kind of thing. Know how long I've been waiting for this. We're a little late on the draw. I only just saw Deadpool 3, and you know
Did
what?
you?
I gotta say, this is the greatest movie ever made. No, I didn't see it.
Well, wow, what a
I'm lying.
surprise!
If I could be an X-Men,
It was really funny because I was because Ben made a joke about it like a few episodes ago. I was like, "Are we actually?" And then I messaged him like, "Are we actually going to see it?" And he was like, "No." I was like,
I might just because I want to watch. I want to watch through the X-Men stuff because I think X-Men are cool.
"Okay,
So I'll probably end up watching it because it's like the true final for real version 5 ending of Wolverine, right?
yeah, I guess." Because the
they've
other
done
thing
like
wasn't
4
good
different
enough.
Wolverine endings.
Yeah, the other
over
one
the course of,
from
like 20
Logan
years.
wasn't good enough. So
Logan,
they were like, "We gotta do it again."
Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and now Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's cool, isn't it? So
I
it's awesome.
have no idea. I've not been seeing any clips, like literally, except for the Gambit, like the 3-second clip of
Ooh,
him
I'm about to
going-
make a name for
yeah,
myself here.
literally,
Also,
that's it.
pause, Max. Pause. Hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Dead Ensigns, a podcast that we make where we talk to each other. I'm Ben. This is Max.
This is me, yes.
Continue.
Yeah, and you look like, I don't know, when I look at the picture of Channing Tatum in that like weird thing
It
that
don't-
goes
it don't
around
look
his
great.
head, yeah, I
It don't
don't
look
get it. I feel like it's just impossible to do. In reality, in comics you can do it, right? Because you just draw it, right? That's it. To do look good, but
No,
in reality,
I-
I don't think you can make a.
Here's the thing.
We don't have the
the
material technology to basically create Gambit's suit, you know?
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Channing Tatum was supposed to have been Gambit for the last 10 years or some bullshit. People keep saying he's
I
wanted
know,
to be
I
Gambit
know
for like
that.
10 years. I'm not finished. He's wanted to do it for 10 years, but I don't understand it because he doesn't look like Gambit in like physically.
He doesn't have to look like Gambit. I'm just.
He does. The thing is, Gambit to me is like kind of svelte, right? He's like kind of lean, and muscular.
You mean?
But Channing
yeah.
Tatum's like bulky.
He is
So when he has
bulky,
when he has that Gambit thing around his head, it makes him look weird. It doesn't fit him at all.
Are you
I think.
Are you saying that Channing Tatum's got a square head? Is that what you're
A
saying?
little bit, yeah.
Okay,
It's like he should. I feel like Gambit should be somebody like Edward Norton or some bullshit. You know?
I like the idea that like on the audition for Gambit is like nothing to do with like the performance or anything. They just give him the head condom that he wears and they just see if it fits on anybody that they could get. It looks
Maybe.
somewhat presentable.
That's what we call Reddit casting, man.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. That's true. Yeah,
That's why we had John Krasinski as
and-
Mr. Fantastic in that.
and that's
Doctor
why
Strange movie that was
the Revenant
shitty.
got an Oscar. You know.
That is
It's
why
just
the
a
Revenant got an
Reddit.
Oscar.
But yeah, it's I do like Gambit as a mutant. I what does he do? He just like imbues power into things. It turns them to bombs, right? That's what he does.
Charges cards with energy.
Yeah, but he can do it to anything, right? It doesn't have to be cards, right? He just uses
don't
it because
know.
you can easily throw cards. I think that's the point of it.
I guess.
But why wouldn't he then use like a ball bearing or something like that? Seems like a super easy thing.
Because
to
that's
throw.
less cool.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's not.
What do you throw a ball back?
Yeah.
You'd more like have to flick a ball.
And you
bearing.
don't have you
But
don't
a
have
card
like
is
one liners
aerodynamic.
that you can say like I'm gonna
Yeah.
play my hand or something, and then you shoot throw it at a guy, you know, and they flutter to the ground because you don't know how to throw
and
it.
he has a bow staff as well.
Mhm.
though. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Also, if I were to be a mutant, I wouldn't want to be Gambit. I
Yeah.
want to be Beast.
You want to be Beast?
Beast is cool, man. Beast
guess.
was my favorite when I was a kid.
Because Beast is like just he's like just a beast, right? That's it.
Yeah,
That's his
he's
power.
a big gorilla, blue gorilla
Was
guy.
Isn't also Kelsey Grammer that
It's
played
Kelsey
him?
Grammer in the
And that's why you
movies,
love
yeah.
him, right? Because
That's why, because Frasier.
because of
That show I
Frasier.
didn't really watch until like 2 years ago. Yeah, man.
That's
As a kid, I was like, I'm getting a vibe from this guy's voice. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like him. No, but he's smart. He's not smart in like an X-Man way. He's just smart because he's just learned a lot.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be smart Beast. I would be stupid Beast.
No, you just a
I would
horrible
be a beast.
creature, right?
Yeah.
And they would
Yeah,
just hunt you down and kill you, the X-Men, I would imagine, right?
No, I'd be chill.
Okay. So
I'd be like a big friendly dog in the school for mutants.
Jesus
I'd
Christ.
wander around. Everybody would be like, "Hey, look, there's Beast." And I'd be like,
right there, it's me,
Beast.
He's licking his balls.
I'm not licking my balls.
That's what I'm
man.
thinking when you're saying a beast, like a mindless creature.
I'm not saying I'm mindless, but I'm not smart like regular Beast is.
It's just a horrible creature that you
Why
create.
is it horrible, man?
How awful. Because you're
This is
telling
like
me
exactly
that, like,
what, this is what X-Men is about. Is that there's people who get the ghoul powers like Storm, and then there are people
Beast.
that just get born as weird freaks.
Yeah.
And society goes, this thing's a weird freak. You're
Like-
society right now. I'm the chill X-Men Beast that's just hanging out, and your society going, look at this disgusting freak. We need
honestly,
to kill him.
I do feel like I would become an X-Men hunter, honestly, in the X-Men future.
You'd be like one of the senators or whatever they have in those comics. They're like, we need to kill all the X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
We
And
can't have X-Men.
I'm wearing a Texan hat, like a cowboy hat, too. In the and they have those like weird things that they wear on the like. It's like a necklace, but it's like
A bolo tie.
Yeah. That's what I'm wearing.
That's cool, man.
But he has illegal X-Men working at his ranch, but he doesn't. But he still is against.
He has farm centric X-Men working for him. Like my power is to lift all hay and
I
put
have
it in a cube with my mind.
Both of my arms are just huge scythes, and I cut all the
Yeah.
I can
My
talk to
hands
horses.
I have 4 hands, and I can milk a cow all at once.
That's it. That's the
That
only
kind of thing.
That's the only way I can use them.
And then the X-Men find out, and they invite them all to Professor Xavier's house.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, my ranch is ruined.
I need to destroy the X-Mansion.
I'm gonna go get my freaks back.
He's like,
or else my farm is ruined.
Wouldn't the circus be like awesome in the X-Men universe? Honestly, because like, what is he called? The blue guy,
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Like he was a circus freak, right? That's what he was like. And
I
for
feel
some
like
reason-
that. How if you're paying for a ticket to the circus and you see a guy teleport, there's got to be like one moment of whoa, awesome, and then the next 10 minutes of like, we get it, he teleports.
I guess, yeah, because
Alright,
it's like,
okay.
and then the thing it puts into question every single like magic trick that they do, right? Because then you do like, they do like a box where they cut him in half. It's like he just teleported. I know what happened, It just simplifies every single trick. Because like that's the thing about magic tricks is like you're trying to work out how it is, but it's, it's never the way that you think.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know what X-Men I would honestly be, because I feel like I would get one of those ones where it's like, remember the in one of the movies where they test the X-Men making machine and it turns the guy into like liquid man, and then he just floats away and
like
dies.
I said, I need to watch these movies because I've seen like I've seen the third one of the prequels, and the 2 Wolverine movies that aren't Logan.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
one
feel
where he goes to Japan, and the one with Deadpool in it.
I would be Paperboy, and I can fold myself up like a
Paperboy from Atlanta.
Yeah, like a sheet of paper into different shapes. So I would like if I try to
It feels
go
more like
somewhere,
Origami Man.
origami game, man. But then it's like I'm trying to. It's like cultural appropriation at that point. You know.
Yeah. Well, I
Because I'm
mean,
a
it was
white
already
guy.
culturally appropriation from the beginning, right? We're still
'Cause I-
doing, because there's no way you wouldn't be folding into like crane shapes. And
I would
stuff.
just make it like neutral. I would make it like a paper plane. That's like every culture in the world has a paper plane.
I
right?
feel like your one use is slipping like into cracks, and that's it. I feel like otherwise they're like, what do we use paper?
no
Man
room
for?
can contain me.
unless the gaps in the door are smaller than the width of folded paper, in which case I will be contained.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
But how does that work? So if you fold yourself, do you become flat, or are you always?
I'm
flat?
always flat. Yeah,
You're always okay. So it sounds like your power is more that you're flat and not that you fold up. Your X-Men mutant thing is that you're completely flat. You're two-dimensional.
Yeah, and when they tries to chase me, I stand sideways and they can't see me. You know.
Yeah, I suppose you always have to run sideways, right?
Yeah. When they
Otherwise,
drop-
your wind resistance is like dog shit.
I guess I could like fly, maybe. You know, a little bit. Like I only
You
move
fold
by
into a
fo-
paper
yeah.
plane like Paper Mario.
Yes, and then I fly away.
That's
And then
cool,
I-
man.
When I what else can I? Because like that's the thing. As soon as I said
I guess
it,
you would be very resistant to damage because if somebody tried to punch you, it'd be like punching a piece of paper.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
really do a
You
lot.
have to rip me,
but-
and my
Yeah,
nemesis
you could be
Scissor
ripped.
Man would come
Okay.
and I'm the nemesis of Rock Man,
Oh,
or like
man,
the
I gotta
thing.
be honest. I
the
feel like if
thing.
you're, I feel like if you're Charles Xavier and you've just recruited Paper Man, and then you find out there's a scissor guy who's like the perfect foil to you, I'd be like, I bet on the wrong horse here.
Yeah,
I should have got Scissor Man.
Scissor Man. He
Fuck
has a
Paper Guy. He's got no use. He
He
falls
ju-
into a paper
The thing
plane
about it
and
is that Scissor Man, he's just his head is just in the
Scissor
shape
Man
of
is just
scissors.
Wolverine.
I guess, right?
Wolverine will kill you.
But he has none of the like Wolverine like features. He's just a guy, right? And he's just got I don't know. Scissors coming out of his holes.
He just puts his elbows together and like
yeah, I get it.
chop, 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 chop.
Yeah.
And, like cuts things.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
But then
And then his ultimate goal is to cut you into pieces for some reason.
for some reason, yeah, I slept with his scissor wife. Yeah. That's
Now that brings
vengeance.
into another question. How does that work? Like,
Cause
how-
she wanted something she couldn't have, you know. Cause she could
no,
have.
I
Scissor
mean,
Man.
but how physically would you make love to somebody? If
I
you're-
don't know.
If you're
It-
flat
it-
2D
I,
guy.
I think
I feel like that'd be
I
uncomfortable.
feel like it's a fade to black situation, you know. If we're
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has to be.
gonna-
Yeah. You have to have you and her kissing, and then you sort of fade to both of you already in bed, finished fucking.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
And you're like, well, like, all right.
And then
Somehow.
she smokes a cigarette and then taps the ash away and falls on me and I burst into like flames.
So, yeah, but here's the thing: you're not made of paper. You're just 2D, right?
I don't know. It's
Or are you
like
made
every
of paper?
issue. Like that's the thing. Every issue of Paperboy, he like kind of like.
So it's not even
sometimes
an
he
X-Men
is-
comic anymore. The comic is Paperboy.
he guest stars in
Yep.
X-Men comics sometimes.
Okay.
Okay. When they have a very specific issue that they have to solve, which would require.
week.
It was a slow week. They bring in Paperboy.
Paperboy. Not even
Yeah.
Paper Man. You're
Yeah,
Paperboy.
Paperboy.
Like the fucking
Yeah.
old ass NES games.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that it's good though. I feel like that would make us sell a lot of copies.
You think a lot of people would like buying Paperboy every
Yeah.
week?
It would.
Oh,
Yeah.
the new issue of Paperboy is out. What's he gonna do this week? Oh, he's folding into something. Who would have thought?
a lot of his signature thing is that if he folds into a shape and then a light casts a shadow of a creature that's dangerous, and
There's
then
something
the
he does a
villain,
lot. Yeah.
the villains run away because
When
they're
they've
like,
written themselves into the corner, they're like, he folds into the silhouette of a big monster, and the silhouette scares the cup of water that's chasing him.
yes, that's true.
They really
That's what
can't.
happens.
They really can't think of anything.
It's a
They just
very.
fold it in.
It would
Why
be.
is this a popular comic?
It's they just. It always comes down to that eventually, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What other
But
villains do you have?
I
A
have
cup of water.
I have a scissor boy,
Scissor boy, cup of water.
a cup of water. There's coffee boy because it stains that makes it look all
Sure.
old.
I feel like you gotta be careful. You don't want too many liquid-based ones. They're all gonna be kind of gonna be a little repetitive.
Aquaman.
Oh, okay. So now you're crossing over into DC. Aquaman's gonna get you. Alright, well,
I don't know all the properties of paper. I don't know what it seems like. Such a amazing material. I don't know any downsides.
The human match.
The human match would be any sort of fire-based
He's
X-Men,
like a
which
long,
is a lot
thin
of them.
guy with like red hair.
And his hair is like his hair is just fire instead. Like he literally just his head
He's
is
a long,
on fire.
thin guy with a very red head, bold red head, and
Yeah,
he sets his head on fire.
Yeah, he goes match. He does the thing where if he wants to light his head on fire, he has to like scratch across something like old timey matches. You know,
That'd be
where
kind of cool as
Yeah.
a thing. Like he headbutts a rock or something.
Yeah. It's like a striker. Basically, he has to strike his
Yeah.
head. You know,
Yeah.
and he goes match on when he.
This is pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Paperboy.
the paper
Look
boy.
out for that in your local comic
Yeah,
store coming
Cool.
soon.
yeah. There'll be a zine coming soon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's more despicable than just being the Beast who isn't like an indigenous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think more people in the X Mansion will be like, I'm sick of this Paperboy guy.
Because like,
Sick of this dude.
because what Paperboy does is he slips under the door of women's bathrooms. You know, and he peeks.
Ew. Where the hell did that come from?
Because like that's the thing. It's like he's like the boys type of style.
Yeah, he's like the boys character in an X-Men comic.
Yeah.
Where he's like a really gross weirdo.
Yeah. And like whenever he has to go anywhere, like the X-Men have like the jet, the X-plane or whatever.
Yeah.
He mails himself in the envelope.
Oh, that sounds very slow. That sounds very
He's
slow.
always late everywhere because the fucking
what?
post
I
service
think
dependent on the post service.
I think the worst part about being an X-Man and then finding out you're on a mission with Paperboy is that you'd just be like, oh great, I'm gonna have to fight like 3 liquid-based villains.
Yeah, so he has.
You're gonna have to fight
do,
Cup of Water, Coffee Man, and the Human Tea.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that would be a pain, man. That would be awful.
It's a Paperboy.
I'm dropping X-Men now. I'm
No,
not reading
yeah.
X-Men. I'm not watching it. I don't want to hear about Paperboy.
You don't want to watch it because it doesn't have Paperboy in it. You know? And that's the only reason. Now the vision of X-Men with Paperboy is so great, you don't want to spoil it.
I can't live without Paperboy.
Yeah. Have you watched
I need
anything,
it.
Ben? You watched something, right? You watched some movies.
I've watched so much.
Oh wait, we also watched Stargate.
I've watched some Stargate.
What
Not a huge
episode did
amount.
you get to?
I got to like episode 5 or 6.
I got to like episode 7 or something like that.
Okay, well that's not bad then.
Let me
That's
have
not
a
bad.
look. Make sure. Star.
Yeah, I'm just getting
Gate.
Stargate SG1 episode list up
SG1.
for season 1.
Yeah, it's pretty okay. Like it's.
Yeah, I watched up
like
to
it.
episode 6. I'm enjoying it. I like the setup. I think the character is interesting. All of the characters and the casting of those characters is better than it was in the movies.
Yeah, Honestly, it is.
James Spader wasn't bad, but the guy they've got to play the main guy
Jack.
now, Jack is way
Richard
better.
Dean Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Is
No, that's the Colonel. I'm talking about the scientist.
oh,
But the
you
Colonel
mean,
is
you mean,
also
oh,
the
yeah.
Colonel is. I was only saying that because James Spader isn't bad,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, no, fucking what's his face, Kurt Russell is way worse than
Yeah.
the guy they've got now.
Yeah.
The
A
guy
lot less.
Dean Anderson is much better as the Colonel.
Yeah, because
Better nails the thing as well of being like kind of, you know, a wise ass. You know, he's always like got some snarky remark or something.
yeah, and like with Kurt Russell, he does. I feel like he just plays, you know, the silent type. You know, like the
Yeah.
strong silent. You know, not many words sort of type. And I don't think that's a good, you know, premise for a main character in a long running show. You know, so I feel like it is a good change. But it's very funny in the first episode of SG-1 where they're like making all these references to the movie. Like they're like,
It's a good thing we watched the movie because I was
movie.
thinking watching the movie like, I wonder how much this will actually pay off, or if it's going to be a completely unrelated group of characters.
He throws in.
Nope, this is literally a sequel to the movie.
Yeah, he throws in a box of tissues through the Stargate because he's got allergies and he sneezes in the movie.
I was just surprised that they're even the same characters. you know?
Exactly.
Just going into it, I was like, this will be new characters, and it's like, no, same characters, just completely recast because they're not getting Kurt Russell. And James Spader
absolutely
for a TV
not.
show.
Yeah,
I wish they could have brought back Richard Kind though. That would have been good.
yeah. But
Richard Kind would have fit in, I think.
I like quite a lot of the like. I like Talk. Talk is cool. I like Talk.
Teal'c.
The alien Talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
Teal'c.
Teal'c.
Because it's like the color teal, and then
Teal'c.
apostrophe C. Teal'c.
Okay. Teal'c. Oh, Teal'c. Okay, Teal'c.
Yeah.
All right, Teal'c is cool.
No,
I like
Teal'c
Teal'c.
is cool. He's funny. He's got a kind of Worf vibe where he's
Mhm.
very serious. And
Yeah, but he
stuff,
also
and he's
has,
a bit
like-
of a fish out of water culturally.
Yeah, and I just like the performance. Honestly, like I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
the actor does a really just good performance of him. Like, and
I like the setup of the two characters from the movie got taken over by the bugs. I also like the evolve formed of they're aliens that inhabit a body to being their bugs.
Yeah, it's really weird too. Like, it's not as simple as like, they're just like parasite that take over you. There's like, Teal'c's got like he's got one, but it's
he's
like
like got a baby
dormant.
one.
Yeah, it's
He's
like
got, like, a baby
dormant one,
And it
so
gives
it's-
him certain resistances and also long life.
Yeah,
apparently.
he says that like it does extend his
He
life
doesn't
and
want to
stuff.
get rid of it because it would mean that he would eventually die, and
Mhm.
he doesn't want to die. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll just hold on to it if you don't
It is
mind."
pretty funny with the like effect where they show off the bug and
Yeah.
a character lifts up his it's a close up so you can
Yeah.
only see the and then they
And
lift
thing.
up
Got
the
this
t-shirt.
big, gross, fleshy hole.
Yeah, it's like gross, like
and a
horrible.
bug comes out and goes.
Yeah. And they kill Kowalski, of course. They kill Kowalski, which is
Yeah.
it's a shame.
I like that episode. It was cool.
Yeah, it
but
was-
it turned out somebody had put a bug in him. I
Yeah,
didn't realize.
it just like it just jumps on him when they escape that first planet that they go on to. I
Some
like
kid
the
slips it in.
yeah, some kid slipped in. I like the design of the Ra, right? That's the one that
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
fighting. Ra's like boys' helmets. They look really funny. When they open, they're like
No, Ra was the one
No,
from the
what's
movies.
the-
This one is Set, I think.
set, and they drop like medieval helmets, like they have like a dunk. They make like a metallic noise when they close. Which
I also wasn't expecting it to be so history based so far.
yeah.
Every planet they go to, they're like, "Oh, this is clearly people from this period in time,
Yeah.
in this place," and it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I do also
enough.
like that. It's like I didn't know that the show does that because it feels
Yeah,
like
I
it's
didn't
such
know
a
it
the
either.
Egyptian themes is such a like huge part of the movie, but then
Which
it's
I'll
like
get to
you
in a
could just
second.
take every culture and go like, yeah, this is a planet that they got taken to basically, and they just kind of like, yeah, it's a good kind of hook, I guess, to go like, oh yeah, let's explore these like different cultures,
They
right?
got the people of the steppe at one point. They got like Mongolians, and
They
they're
have-
like, we trade women.
Yes, but the thing is that the episode is, what is it called? It's called like emancipation, because then one of the leaders of the tribes is like, women, they seem pretty okay, you know. And he's like,
Yeah.
"We
we think women are slightly less than men. But then there
no,
are other tribes that are like, women aren't real, they're
Yeah.
objects.
they're not. Don't show your face, because I need to kill you if I see your face."
The reason they gave of like, oh, our society does this to protect them from the gods or whatever.
Yeah. That's true, because they like, yeah.
And
that's like-
humanity is special. The Earth is special because we were the ones that we were super slaves, but then we separated ourselves. We closed the Stargate.
Yeah, we still close
And
the
that's
Stargate.
why we can beat them, because we didn't have thousands of years of alien gods watching over us, keeping us limited.
Yeah, like literally not letting us read or write or anything like that. But I like the episode, the one where they turn into apes was pretty, or like Neanderthals.
They have the virus that like. Yeah.
I really like the
It
scene
eats
where they're like,
histamines and turns them into like Neanderthals.
yeah, it's really funny because they're like surprised, you know. They're like, we brought in this disease from an alien world.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oops.
Shit.
I kind of it's got that. It's interesting. It's got a similar sort of structure to Star Trek, you know, very monster of the week kind of procedure. Like each episode, they go to a planet. Hey, let's check it out. You get a problem. Oh, this society has a problem, or this planet has a problem, and then it kind of comes back with them a bit into the facility. And then they have to deal with it and stuff, and they learn a little bit about that culture, and it was cool. I'm enjoying it so far, and it's got Major Briggs from Twin Peaks in it.
It's got Major Briggs in it, yeah, and
he's not just a head this time.
No, he didn't get his head chopped off.
Nope.
But yeah, looking forward to actually kind of seeing more of the show, and I'm also looking for, maybe if I continue just like actually watching the show, looking forward to over time, you know. It is what's the last season? Last season came out in 2006, so you know it's quite a long
few seasons of the SG-1.
It's just 10 seasons of the show.
There's quite a few.
So I'm looking forward to seeing kind of the show, the quality change over time, you know, with the times. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing that, because I feel like with Star Trek, it all kind of stays within the same sort of area, you know, in terms of filmmaking. Not filmmaking, but like TV show, you know, it's all like kind of 90s, you know, maybe early the TNG, that's a bit like, you know, a little bit lower quality, but like, you know, it's all kind of state. And then you get the Enterprise, and that is early 2000s, and you can really feel it in that show, you know. So I'm looking forward to this show turning into Star Trek Enterprise, and this show has nudity in it, so you know, always a positive to have in a show.
Yeah,
always love to see nudity.
There's some overlap too with the spin-offs later on. You know, you got Atlantis.
Yeah.
You got Universe.
Yeah. So much Stargate, you know.
So much Stargate. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, man?
You can just
Not
have
me.
it. Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, you know. We'll continue, I guess. Shall we?
We'll continue
do
our
like
Stargate journey in the future.
Yeah, we'll dial a planet, and we'll go there, you know.
We'll dial in the future to give you an update on Dead Ensigns, Stargate Watch. Maybe we'll become a Stargate podcast.
Yeah, we should change the name. Dead
Dead
Sergeants?
Ensigns still works because there's ensigns.
I guess, yeah.
Because it's a very militaristic show.
Yeah, true.
You know.
Do you not like the fact that Star Trek's got like made up military watch Stargate instead, because they just have straight up military going.
Yeah,
to
this
all
is
the-
just the U.S. Army
This is just the U.S. Army going
Yep.
places, you know.
Yep.
And
on their own. They're spreading specifically American democracy to other places.
it is pretty funny.
Fuck
yeah.
Europe, fuck China,
Yeah.
fuck everybody. This is about America making strides in
Into the
Planetary
galactic,
travel.
yeah, no galactic, I guess. In the planet.
intergalactic. It would be intergalactic, I guess, because they go
Yeah.
across to different
I think
galaxies.
right. Do
question
they?
mark.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah, that is pretty funny. They're like, just yeah, like no other sort of. It is such a secret project that it's like maybe in the future episodes, or maybe there'll be like more like there'll be a Russian Stargate. Then they're gonna be trying to spread communism in the fucking
Well,
90s after.
not to harsh your vibe, Max, but I think the only other Stargate seems to be in Atlantis.
That's true.
So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Russia.
But yeah, what else have you watched except for Stargate?
Last night I rewatched Prometheus. Since that new Alien came out, and I've been seeing clips of Alien stuff online, I'm like, maybe I should give a proper go to get into the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Since I've seen Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3, and generally am kind of ambivalent to the franchise. Alien is obviously a classic, probably one of the best movies ever made, you know? It's hard to deny that. And Aliens is an awesome action film, and I love James Cameron. But I've never been like a big Alien head. And I saw Prometheus when it came out, and I was like, this movie's kind of stupid. You know?
Yeah.
But I rewatched it last night, and it's still stupid. It's a very stupid film. Characters behave very stupidly in the film, constantly, and make strange decisions. But also, it's a very cool movie, because David is in it, and the engineers are cool.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I would have to rewatch it, because, like, from what I remember, I really didn't like Prometheus.
Yeah.
You know?
I can
So
see why
it's,
people don't like it, and I don't think it's a good movie. It's very stupid, but I think it is a cool movie. You know?
Yeah.
I think it has a lot of cool ideas and neat stuff. And I think there's cool stuff in there still, narratively. The whole thing of like going to meet your creator, but then also you've got your own creation. Like, I think David is a really cool character because he's like, he is what the humans are to the engineers, you know? And he's going with them to try and like communicate to the engineers with them, and it's clear that he has this deep-rooted like drive to just kill all of the people because he hates humans.
Yeah, he hates humans.
He hates his creator.
He poisons them with like the virus at one point. Remember, where he dips it on his finger.
Guy, he puts a little bit of the bioengineering, biovirus warfare thing into his drink, and then he starts melting and becoming a weird monster.
Yeah, exactly.
And because he had sex with the main character, she has like a weird
the bug
creature growing in her uterus that she has to remove.
Yeah, with the that scene was rough. I remember.
I think the
like,
worst part is when it's dangling above like her open stomach, and then it bursts, and it's like all of her shit gets filled with gross slime. You know,
yeah,
that's the bad part. The rest of it is like whatever fake movie surgery stuff. You know.
But yeah, I feel like the big part of the movie, like the dislike of this movie is like, it is a cool movie, but like there's just so, like especially like the way the characters behave is just
characters
such
are really stupid.
like there's that huge scene, you know, where the thing tumbles and they're running in a straight line.
Now
you know?
here's the thing. Watching it last night, because I remember that scene. I remember watching it originally and thinking, why don't they move to the side? And watching it last night, I realized why.
Yeah.
It's because there's debris falling everywhere.
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
So if they run, and it's literally like I think they make a point to show that because it's literally dropping like right next to them. So if they deviate from the sides to the sides, they're probably going to get hit with debris falling.
Yeah.
So they have to stay kind of underneath the ship where they're protected from the debris, but they have to keep running because the ship is rolling towards them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It seems to be a failure in communication of that, because I hear that complaint a lot. Like and like when you talk to someone about this movie, it's like, oh, that scene is really weird, you know. But
I don't know. Like, I got that before, but then I was watching it last night thinking, like, oh, yeah, why don't they just run to the sides? But then they keep showing shots where there's constant debris falling down to the left and right of them. So you're like, oh, okay, because they would probably get squished by debris more likely if they went to the sides.
I guess.
But, I think it's more like, because that scene happens way later in the movie, people have already checked out and are looking for things to hate.
Yeah.
So that jumps out because... You know, where in scenes like that, your brain always go run to the side. You know.
Yeah.
So but you kind of
because you're stupid and they're scientists and they know stuff.
No, because they're also stupid. You got that little creature come out of the slime, and the scientist is like, "Let me go pet it. Let me go fucking shove my hand in its mouth." It's like,
it's so weird because it's like, what are you achieving here? Like, why would you pet
Everybody's
this? Like,
so
there's no
stupid.
point for
they
you
do
to
a
pet this thing.
scan. They scan and they're like, "Oh, there's breathable atmosphere in this ship," and they're all just like,
Just-
"All right, everybody,
yeah,
helmets off." It's like,
You know,
really?
they take it off, you know.
Yeah,
It is
really?
just like, yeah, it's so weird because like just wear the helmet to protect yourself. That it doesn't have to be like, you know, it's so weird, like, you know.
You've got the two guys that are like stranded out there in the ship who apparently seem to have infinite oxygen, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they can take their helmets off because it's got breathable atmosphere or whatever. But they're stuck outside, and Idris Elba like is not keeping an eye on them. Really, he's like half-assed, like paying attention. There's a point where he's like, "Oh yeah, there's apparently a creature in there with you guys," and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's a creature apparently. Oh, the creature's gone. Don't worry." And it's like, okay. And then that lady comes in and he's like, "Let's fuck," and they leave, and that's when the guys get killed because there's nobody there to watch them. It's like, bro, why did you? Also, Idris Elba has the strangest accent in this movie.
I don't remember.
The absolute strangest accent.
Does he have an American accent? What does he have?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be an American accent, but he keeps like, it's so half-assed that it keeps sounding like Idris Elba doing a terrible accent half of the time.
Have you watched the
It's
next
so
one?
bad.
Alien Covenant?
No, I haven't.
Is
I've
that
never
what was
seen
it called?
Alien Covenant. I'll watch that one next.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't. I remember even
People
less
don't like
about that
Covenant
movie.
a lot, I think.
Yeah, I went to see it in the cinema, and I remember just like, it's just not remembering anything for like, you know, out of it. It was one of those movies that just doesn't stay with you. I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But
Other than that, last night I also started reading Jujutsu Kaisen again.
Again, or have you restarted
Picking
reading?
it up from where I left it.
Yeah.
Because it's ending. It's got 5 chapters left.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the biggest
Oh, so you're like
anime currently at the moment. Everybody loves Jujutsu
You're joining
Kaisen.
in. You're gonna
No,
be like,
'cause
I was here all along, everybody.
Well, no, because I was reading the comic last year, because everybody was talking about it, and I was liking it up to a point, and then it really... I got reminded last night why I dropped it, because I can't stand its power system, dude. I can't. It's so bad. It's like Hunter x Hunter, but even more complicated.
Yeah.
It got to the point last night where I'm reading these. I'm at this like super huge penultimate battle of like one of the strongest good guy versus the big evil villain who's the strongest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And 90% of the dialogue is other characters outside of the battle trying to make sense of what's happening. So they're constantly just saying shit like
explaining what's going on.
Their domain expansions happened at the exact same
Jesus
time, and they have to keep
Christ.
their curse technique synchronized. But unfortunately, Sukuna's range is a little bigger, so it will come in from the domain exterior and attack him with his no-miss attack. So
Jesus
Satoru Gojo
Christ.
has to start using his reversed curse technique to regenerate his curse technique so that he can create a new domain, which is slightly bigger than the range, but then also contracts to contain the range of Sukuna's curse technique, domain expansion. And then Satoru Gojo needs to use the special fucking family trait special ultimate purple flash power and do a super punch with his domain curse technique expansion. It's so annoying to read. It's so annoying, dude. Straight up, like there was one chapter I read that was just back to back to back pages with like a character
Equations
in each panel saying like full paragraphs of like, oh, if he does this and this, then that means Sukuna will do this, and then a character goes, but doesn't that mean if Gojo does this and this, that means his reverse curse technique regenerates curse technique indefinitely? Well, you see, curse technique is a lot like an engine, and it overheats and it needs to cool down, so you can't use reverse curse technique to cool down the engine, but he's doing it. How? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's so,
and then he explains how he does
so
it
annoying
afterwards.
to read.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they. Here's the thing, if they do, I don't get it because I don't get what any of this shit means. They explain all of this
You
shit
shouldn't
over the
have
course
stopped
of like
doing it.
200. No, but this is why I stopped reading, because even when I was reading it and everything was fresh in my mind, I was still reading the dialogue. Like, what are they talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What do they mean? I'd never understood fully what reversed curse technique was. Domain expansion stuff has like so many rules to it. There's like seals and shit that you need to like put on an area. I don't fucking know, man. This shit's so crazy and convoluted. It's too much. It's the main reason why I think this shit's kind of ass, and the main reason why most people watch the anime and not read the manga.
Yeah.
Because the animation is nice.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, that's true. Because you can just look at the nice images instead of
watch
just
the
a
awesome
panel.
fights and go, damn, that shit was peak.
Yeah.
But then you read it and you're like, what the fuck are they fucking saying, bro? What the fuck are they fucking, huh?
There is one.
I wrote up an example earlier of the kind of shit I was reading.
I like the idea of some guy sitting there watching the anime and going like, "That's not how this works." This, like they're like a lore master.
No,
when
I think it's faithful to the manga.
You think
It's
so?
just that,
all right.
Yeah, it's just that I think very few people really can get it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I am just stupid.
That's
I'm
true,
totally fine
yeah.
to just be like, you know what, I'm stupid, clearly, because I don't get any of it. It's too convoluted for me.
Mm-hmm.
All of this power system. At least with Hunter x Hunter, you kind of get it. Like, they just be like, Nen is like aura, and you can extend it to punch really hard or defend yourself. And then on top of that, you can use it to like do a specific power in these like subsets. You know, it's like, oh, I'm a conjurer. I turn my Nen into stuff. I can turn my aura into things. Oh, I can make my Nen more powerful. Oh, I can change other people's Nen aura. You know.
Mm-hmm.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, you get shit like characters saying shit like he's extending his domain barrier externally to include the range of his reversed barriers, no miss attack, factoring in reverse technique and the Shikigami family bloodline technique. Gojo should be able to win as long as his curse technique withdrawal matches Sukuna's barrier uptime and decreases the range of his domain ability. Unlimited Black Flash reverse curse technique special punch, you know?
Mm-hmm. No miss.
No miss. They have like no miss attacks, but then they're like they cancel out each other's no miss attacks because their barriers are their domains are like equal or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's basically like
It's like
it's I don't know. Listening to that, it's like techno babble, but it's less
really
cool.
is.
Honestly, I feel like in Star Trek where they go like, we need to fluctuate our phases. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know.
But that's because that's like 5 minutes of an episode is them having to come up with some like pseudoscience sci-fi stuff to solve a problem.
Yeah.
This is like 8 chapters where they're just like trying to make it's like trying to solve a puzzle. But it's not a very engaging puzzle to solve, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only doing this because I caught up on Dandadan, which was very good.
Okay.
It was a very good comic and very straightforward because it's just like, oh, this person's soul is mixed with a ghost. Now they have special powers. Now they can run really, really quickly 2 times. It's like, okay, cool, awesome. I'm done. And the aliens, why are the aliens powerful? Because they have special, like, fucking nanomachine tech. Okay, cool, perfect. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
They get the Jujutsu Kaisen, the, like, reversed curse technique to replenish curse technique. And it's like, what does that mean?
Makes perfect sense. But
what are they talking about, man? Anyway, what did you watch?
I watched.
Also, I started watching a show called The Sympathizer, directed by Park Chan-wook. It's pretty good so far, but I've only watched 2 episodes, and I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. I'm enjoying it so far, but we'll see what it's like as it goes on. It's about a mole in the Vietnam War.
Oh,
a guy who's
I've
on.
seen it's Robert Downey Jr.
Well, it's got
is
Robert
in
Downey
that.
Jr. in it as
Robert
multiple
Downey Jr..
characters.
Yeah,
He plays.
he's,
He does a Eddie Murphy. He plays like 4 different characters, I think.
Yeah, I've my mum was watching it, and I've literally watched it with like by walking into the room. Every 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes, I would see a bit of the show. But it looked cool, I guess.
It's got. I mean, it's got that Park Chan-wook flair to a lot of the editing and stuff. A lot of the it's got some cool, interesting transitions and stuff in there, and also an intriguing story. It's about like a guy who is a mole for the north of Vietnam, the communists. So he's in with like the South, the American backed like
he's
loyalists,
just
I guess.
he's
or whatever.
he's a
But
spy.
But when the South falls eventually and the communists take over and America flees, he's told like, yeah, you got to go with them. Sorry, you can't stay. He was like, I'm gonna when these guys leave, I'm gonna stay in my home country. But his boss, who's his friend, tells him, no, you have to go with him because we need you keeping eyes on the general. You need to stay with him. So the first episode is all about him in Vietnam. Second episode follows him after Saigon falls as he goes to America. And it's good. It's told in like a kind of reverse order a lot of the time. Like there's a framing device of he's writing up his story because it seems like at some point he gets captured again or is being detained by Vietnam communists, the Viet Cong, and he's writing up his story, but it gives it that extra level of like his voiceover is. It always feels because he's always, lying essentially throughout the whole story. He's lying to people. It gives you that extra layer of like, can you trust what the narrator is saying? Is he a trustworthy narrator for this story, or is he omitting or changing things? It's cool so far. I like it, but I'll watch the rest. I don't know what happened because this show got delayed a bunch, and then it kind of just came out, and I feel like not a lot of people talked about it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I've needed to watch it since.
It's out for a while now, from what I think, right? A few months, like
I think
6
it came
months.
out in like April, May. I want to say.
Yeah. So people are, I have not seen anything about this show anywhere. So
I'll report back. It's like 7 episodes, so I've got like
it is
5
a very
left.
show. Yeah, I'm still on my kind of journey of watching a lot of like Polish movie stuff, basically. So I finished the Three Colors like trilogy, I guess. It's quite a classic, I guess. It's of cinema, I guess.
Would you say it's Kino?
Kino, yeah,
Is it
you
peak?
could.
Is
Yes,
it peak?
you could say, yeah, I guess peak. It's really good. The three of the movies, you got the color blue, white, and red, and it's interesting how different at the same time these like they're part of the same sort of like trilogy, but they're like blue is just like a straight up drama, like just like not horrible, but like
It's got the tragedy mask on.
yeah, just a tragedy mask on. The white has a comedy mask on.
Nice,
and
nice, awesome.
and the red it's still a drama, so it's got like a drama mask on, but it's like but it's like more positive, in a way. It's not as drama-esque as the first one, which is literally about grief, but yeah, I've watched that. I really enjoyed them. It was nice to kind of. That's the thing. That's what I enjoy about watching garbage, basically, because then I get to watch this and go like, wow, this is actually like,
It gives you a nice bar to set very low.
Yeah, exactly. This is nice.
I get that. I get that.
This is stimulating, on like other shit that I watched,
I get that.
And the cinematography, beautiful cinematography, and just like the way the story is is told, and just like it's just all the stories are just so well said, like they're so well shown that like. Yeah, you just really get into it. Like I really like a lot of people enjoy, blue. Red is the one it's the magnum opus, basically. That's what they call it, because he retired. The director retired right after that one. But
this is just as an aside, the way it's saying these movies, because that blue and red and stuff, is reminding me of this TikTok of these two guys who are watching TV and they're talking about film in that sort of way, but all of the stuff they're talking about is like colors. They're like, oh, have you seen Yellow though? Yeah, I think the director really did some amazing stuff in Yellow, and it really fed into their work on Purple later on. Have you seen Purple? No, I haven't seen Purple. Let's put it, and then it's like a screen of just like purple on the screen. So
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah, it is
I'm
literally
reminded of
that
that when
a
you're
little
talking
bit,
about
yeah.
these, where it's like, a lot of people like red because it's the director's magnum opus.
He made what people don't realize, that red was not a color before this movie came out.
He invented it.
And he invented
it. It's a gift to the world.
Gift to
Color
the
red.
world. But yeah,
Anyway, continue.
I enjoyed. That's the thing. It's like, it's people go like, oh, this is this one and this one. They order these and like which one is the best. But I enjoyed each movie for its own kind of merits.
With a centrist approach.
Yeah, I am a centrist, and as a movie, I enjoyed Color White the most because it goes by so quickly. It's a big comment.
That's the
it's a
kind
bit
of praise you like to hear. I
it's
like this one because they went the fastest.
Yeah, because it's true.
It was
Because
over
it's
the
the most like kind of standardized in the way it shows it, and it's just a nice, especially after Color Blue, which is about grief. Like the entire fucking movie is dragging you with the main character through all of the grief she experiences. To watch Color White, which is a bit of a comedy, but it's a bit of a tragedy at the same time. To be dragged back into drama with Red. It's like it can be tiring. That's why I feel like it makes to watch the Color White between the two movies makes it a bit easier, because the Color White is a lot more of a standard movie, you would say. But yeah, I watched those, and I watched another movie which I didn't know about. I didn't this was another Polish film, was called Oba, The End of Civilization.
Okay.
And I've never heard of this movie. It was a lot of these movies got added to BFI, so if anyone wants to watch them, they're probably there.
Go
But
to BFI for your Polish film kick.
Yeah, it was really interesting that I was like, oh, look at this,
Yeah.
and because it has Jerzy Stur, which is like a pretty comedic actor, like he plays in a lot of comedies in Polish cinema. But I noticed him on the thumbnail, and I was like, oh, I never seen this movie, or maybe it's like I wanted something lighter. And what I got is like I just got really good sci-fi, basically like really good kind of like Stugarsky style sci-fi out of it, and I was like,
okay, cool.
I would actually, if you I would recommend you watch this movie, because it was
What was the name again?
I'll post it for you.
Yeah,
but it's a really good examination of just like hope, what it gives people and how it can prevent people from doing stuff, basically. Just like, now that if you want to watch it, I'm a bit like, do I want to go into this movie? Because I really like how dirty this movie is, in terms of portrayal of the place all these people are in,
Sure.
because it is like a post-apocalyptic movie, basically, and the contrast between the different places within this place, where one of them is like full of neon, it looks somewhat like normal, and people kind of in their kind of basically the people are waiting for a certain event to happen, so they're just sitting there doing something, and all of these people are going differently about that fact, but they're still waiting and not doing anything, so some of people are more hedonistic. They go into like this hedonistic kind of, aspect of waiting. Some of people just go into exploitation, how to exploit people in this. But they're still waiting for that event. Yeah, it's a really interesting movie. I would highly recommend people see it. Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised having randomly kind of clicked this movie basically. So the poster's pretty nice too. It's a lot of these sort of Polish posters are always interesting to look at. But yeah, I've seen these and I watched Dark City, which is kind of not worth talking about.
All right, then never mind. We'll talk about it.
It was just the concept is interesting. It's a very high sci-fi sort of thing. But then I watched it and I was like, all right, I don't feel anything. I have watched this,
Yeah.
Dark City. But yeah, that's what I've watched, and
That's the Polish cinema roundup, I guess.
yeah, I guess I'll continue probably
keep
watching.
going.
So it's I'll be continuing my re-examination of all of these movies, because I watched a lot of movies, this like cinema kind of passively with my parents when I was a kid, but now as an adult I can actually examine them, rather than just.
Maybe we should market ourselves this way instead. How many other podcasts are giving you reviews of Polish cinema? Huh?
Yeah.
This
I
could
don't
be
know.
a USP.
Probably a lot, honestly.
I reckon maybe in the past.
few,
but I mean
yeah.
right now. Right now,
Yeah,
where are you
yeah.
getting that kick?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't think I don't think anybody cares. That's the thing.
People don't care until you make them care.
Okay, you're saying I should be selling the Polish cinema to people?
No, I'm not saying you have to, but as a duo.
Mm-hmm.
as
Or we
a
could just make
podcast.
a general movie podcast and make reviews and put them in the title, and then people go, I'm interested in this movie. Let me Google it first, and then it pops up. It pops up, with our podcast, and we can actually get some views on this,
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But I guess until then, that's us, right? You have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
That's
I'm all tuckered out.
I'm a little tuckered out too. People aren't tuckered out enough these days.
Mm-hmm. People have too much energy.
People have too much energy going on.
Yeah. That's the thing. And they want more because they take meth and stuff, and they want more energy.
It's kind of greedy.
Yeah, it's kind of greedy, because then you can tell that they're not using all that energy. They're just taking, they're making
Save
more.
some energy for the rest of us, man.
Yeah. Don't you know this is a closed system? Don't you know entropy? It's all a closed system.
You'd save some for the people who are tuckered out like us. We could do another hour at least of podcasting.
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
had
And
some
now we're
substance like that.
Yeah, we gotta take a nap,
But I guess we're just too tuckered out, so we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye. Have a lovely week.
Yeah.
This has been Dead Ensigns. We can what?
You can email us at deadensigns@gmail.com.
Email us at deadensigns@gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment under our YouTube videos where we upload our podcast. If you don't want to listen to it on YouTube, you can go to any regular podcast app, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, even. But at the end of the day, all of those places will allow you to subscribe or save us and give a rating. So we'd appreciate if you did. But until then, goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.